Today we're in an FG-X Falcon 2016 model, and this is an XR8 manual transmission supercharged V8, such an iconic Australian vehicle. The one thing about this vehicle though, now that it's about 9 years old, is that the factory infotainment system is showing its age. So what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade this system with Kenwood's DAX 8000 direct replacement unit, along with iDatalink Maestro and the APX Ford system that we've developed, and we're going to show you how this system works. But firstly, some of the challenges that we have when trying to upgrade the infotainment system in this vehicle is that it is a very integrated system. Behind the factory 8-inch screen is very little depth, so trying to put a traditional aftermarket radio up there is virtually impossible. But then we have all these integrated climate control buttons, integrated media and infotainment buttons here on the front of the panel that all need to be retained so that we can continue to use this. The other thing is being an iconic vehicle, we really want to make sure that we maintain the vehicle's look and feel. We don't want to make it look like an aftermarket system. So the Kenwood Direct Replacement unit and iDatalink Maestro are going to solve that problem. So let's show you how this system works. So now we've got the DAX 8000 XDS direct replacement unit from Kenwood installed in this FG-X Falcon. And one of the advantages of this system is that we're not replacing any of the factory panel here. This is all factory paneling, where there's no modifications or additional plastics required in order to install this system. The direct replacement unit from Kenwood features an individual screen which is mounted at the top here, and a radio brain which is mounted down below where the original radio brain was installed. So that means that all of these factory buttons that can control your park sensors, your vehicle door lock and unlock, your traction control, and all these infotainment buttons, we're retaining all of those. So now I can turn the volume dial and you can see that that's going to operate on the Kenwood system. And all these buttons have been set to be able to be maintained. We can change source with the media button, we can mute with this button, and we can seek stations and presets, etc. with these buttons. Now obviously with this system we don't have CD player anymore, so these buttons and the CD slot are no longer usable. However, we are able to use these buttons for different functions. So the eject button, we can use that as a home button to take the Kenwood back to its home screen. And the CD button has been programmed to switch back to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Now we move up to our climate control buttons. So these are all retained, and we get these nice little widgets up there when we adjust the temperature for passenger or driver's side, or just even for the single zone vehicles, they will operate the same. We still have our fan control, but if we get to these more advanced functions, once we press those, it's going to bring up this nice climate screen where we can again touch control our climate temperatures and our factory climate features, all from the touch screen as well. And of course we have our steering wheel controls here, which are all retained, but these can also be programmed in WebLink program by iDatalink Maestro for 2 features. So they can be programmed for a short press and a long press for a whole range of different functions. So your voice button is retained, your mode button and your volume, phone and seek buttons are all retained with the iDatalink Maestro system. Now when we replace the factory infotainment system, another really important feature that we have to retain is this vehicle's factory reverse camera, and obviously the park sensors as well. So if I put the vehicle in reverse, you can see there that we've got the factory camera displayed, and you can see as someone walks behind, the factory park sensors are retained as well. Now this vehicle also has the additional feature of a zoom button for the factory camera. Now there's 2 ways that you can operate that, and that is by pressing the touchscreen to zoom in and out, or you can use the eject button, which we've repurposed to be able to do the same feature. So another feature of iDatalink Maestro added to the Kenwood unit is a suite of vehicle gauges. So we can activate the gauges page, which can also be activated through a press of a steering wheel programmed in WebLink. But here you can see page 1, we've got RPMs, we've got our EGT, coolant temperatures, those kind of things. If we hit page 2, you can see there that we can have 0 to 100 times and a lot of other options available from the vehicle's ECU. So obviously this Kenwood unit is a high-end unit. It's got amazing audio quality. We can go into the audio menus and you can set all sorts of things, and it really does sound amazing. But of course, it's also got all of the current features that you would expect of a modern infotainment system. Radio, AM, FM, digital radio, DAB, and we've used an adapter to retain the factory DAB antenna on this vehicle. We've got HDMI, we've got Bluetooth streaming, but of course what most people want is wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, this being a high definition screen, everything just looks amazing. And one of the other features in CarPlay mode is we can use this button to activate split screen mode. So we can continue to control climate control or various other features on the side and have our CarPlay on the other side operating simultaneously. Now, from factory, in the glove box here is normally a USB port for the factory Sync 2 system, and we've replaced that with a USB-C, so it looks factory again, and this is all part of the Apex iDatalink Maestro system.